How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to yet another weekly warehouse update. We're releasing this a little bit earlier than normal because at 5 p.m. Eastern time, when this video normally drops, we're actually going to be doing a charity sales-a-thon. So basically, we're going to be releasing the 2024 Disc of the Year. We have a commemorative stamp and stuff for that. You're not gonna miss out on that. We're gonna have a bunch of different sales going on the site. There's gonna be a punishment wheel, and then 100% of the donations from like the super chat and all of that stuff during the stream, and a portion from every sale on the site during the stream is going towards Samaritan's Purse and their efforts with Hurricane Helene, because there's still a lot of stuff that needs to get done there, and I'm sure they're doing stuff with the wildfires going off in California right now as well. So with their disaster relief efforts, that's what we're going to be supporting tonight. So if you're watching this in time, make sure you hop over to the main channel and check out the charity sales-a-thon. But if you're watching this too late or you don't want to watch a live stream, we still have a bunch of fun stuff hitting the site today that you can shop. All right, this month's subscription box is almost ready to start shipping out, and I'm not going to reveal the entire thing, but I feel like I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't reveal the thing, which is behind me. I have, for this month's subscription box, some Foundation Heck Yeah stamped trails. So this is the featured disc of this month's box. The trail has been very hard to come by, very hard to get your hands on, and this is the first time we've ever ran a custom stamped trail. So we're super excited about this. There's a decent bit of subscription box available for this month, so it's $45. You get 3 premium discs plus a swag item, and it'll be shipped to your doorstep each and every month. Plus, if you have been doing the subscription boxes for a while and you know we always over-deliver on the value, you can actually sign up for a full year and you'll save even more. So it'll get even cheaper for you if you sign up for the full year. But regardless, $45, you can cancel the subscription anytime. So even if you're like, I just want to get in on this trail box, you can pay $45 once, get in on it, cancel it after it comes to you, and that's that. But the Heck Yeah Trail, the featured disc, and as the month goes on, we'll probably reveal some of the other ones, but for right now, that's all I'm gonna show you. So if that's interesting to you and you wanna get 3 premium discs and a swag item for $45, hop on that subscription box.
All right, over here at the mint disc section, because we got a new mold to tell you about, the Salamander. 10 out of 10 for fun naming. I like the Salamander name. We've got this is the Sublime one here. This is the Des Redding one, a little bit of that shine to it, always very pretty. And then we've just got the Apex plastic one here. These are considered finesse fairways. Haven't got a chance to throw them yet. They're very comfy in the hand. I feel like they're going to be a very neutral, straight flying fairway driver. Almost reminds me a little bit of a Maverick in my hand. Feel great, should be a great mold. I think they were kind of needing something a little bit like in between, like maybe like the Grackle is a little bit more stable and then not quite as flippy as some of their other molds. So I think this could be a great fit for their lineup. Some of the other stuff we have in stock right now, we do still have Phoenixes in stock. Let me just tell you that I've been bagging the Glow Phoenix for a while now, and this thing is pretty awesome. They're board flat, really stiff, and super overstable. There's not really, in the scheme of drivers and overstability, there's not really anything more overstable than this other than like a tilt. So I love using these for just super reliable hyzers. You can throw them into wind. I like to chop them over on forehands and just know they're gonna fight out of it. So those are great. Other molds we have in stock right now, we've only got a few. We've got the Diamondback still in stock right now, and this has a really cool stamp on it as well. This is one of their faster kind of flip-up drivers. They got the Caution Venomous Snakes. Very fun little stamp there. We also have Bobcats in stock, and we've got these in a few different plastics. One cool thing about the Bobcat, the first time I was introduced to this disc is because Brody was found one laying out in a field like somebody was doing field work, and thought it was one of his Get Freaky zones because they're similar to his zone, but they're just larger diameter. They're a little bit faster, maybe not quite as overstable, but pretty similar in flight, just a bit faster. They go a little further. And so if you enjoy that kind of flight but are looking for a little bit more speed, the Bobcat's a great option. Just a very classic flat overstable approach disc, and they fly great. And they have a lot of cool artwork going on at Mint. And hey, there's a lot of rumors circulating about Thought Space and whether or not they're going to be making plastic with Discraft, MVP, what's going on. So there's a chance that Mint could be like the lone alt MVP brand. So who knows? Who knows? Check it out.
Over in Discraft Alley, I wanted to highlight a few specific discs. First off, the Force. We have several different varieties of Force. We have these big Z Forces. which, you know, the flat ones are going to a lot of times be a little bit more stable. The domey ones can actually give you a little pop-up to them, so that's a good time. You have the ESP force, which is the force whenever I was throwing them was the one I was going to. The force is just a consistent overstable distance driver, especially for an arm speed like me. If you're like wanting to try out the force but you don't want to commit fully, we have the recycled ESP, which basically feels like the ESP, flies just like ESP, but comes in a little bit cheaper, which is very nice. And it has these like cool speckly swirl patterns you don't really get in a lot of the other plastics. And then if you want to try to make sure it turns a little bit more, we also have some Z Light forces in stock. This one comes in at 165. So this will be a little bit more of a bomber force. It's not necessarily the lightweightness that's going to make it turn, but it's so much easier to get this up to speed that it can get a little cruise out of it for you. And we still have just your stock Z forces in stock. So if you're looking for some consistent overstability, it's been really windy around here. I don't know if it's been where you are. Then force could be something that's great to attack those headwinds. Speaking of attacking headwinds, this wasn't on my list, but I just looked down and saw it. The machete has always been Brody Smith's disc of choice for that. It's basically a faster Firebird, Captain's Raptor, that type of feel. It's a really, really overstable 11 speed. So if you've always been looking for that, like, you know, there's so many in that 9-speed thing and you just don't like it for forehand, you want something a little bit faster, check out the machete. That could really be exactly what you're looking for. We also have a bunch of Kratoses. The ones that are sticking out to me right now are these fly dye ones with just the Palmic Best signature stamp on there. So we got these fly dye Kratos, we've got some of the limited edition Z Kratos, we've got some rubber blend Kratos, and it looks like if you want to get your hand on a Kratos for a little bit cheaper, we also have some putter blend Kratoses and some putter blend Lunas. Both of these discs I think cracked into the top 25 last year, which no surprise. The Kratos is just a beaded Luna. I like beaded putters more, so this is just a better feeling Luna to me, and I love that you can now get them in their hard and soft blend. So if you're putting with these, you don't have to, you know, pay 20 bucks every time unless you want the specialty plastic of like the rubber blend or Z or something like that. The final one I want to highlight over here is the zones. We got a bunch of different zones and zone OSs. So down here, let me just run this through. We got your Jawbreaker zones. These are gorgeous. If you're looking for a baseline zone, it'll start off nice and overstable. It'll beat in to be dead straight and has really good tackiness and grip to it. We also have your classic Z zone. These are just good overstable flyers. You can never go wrong with the zone. If you don't really like Jawbreaker, you want something a little bit different, but you still want baseline, we have some soft zones and we have just some straight putter line zones. So the putter blend is just gonna be a little bit stiffer, but both of them are gonna have really good tackiness to them, have almost like an eraser type feel to them. They're also gonna be able to beat in real quick to have that dead straight flight. We have some ESP Flex zones. These are my personal favorite. I love ESP and ESP Flex zones. We also have some TI zones, which have that nice shimmer to them, and this is the new TI, so it's got that swirl to it. And we still have some of Adam Hammis's 2024 Tour Series zones, not to mention the Zone GTs, Zone OSs, and I think I saw up here somewhere down here, we have just 2 of the Brody Smith Get Freaky zones left. Don't know when or if we'll get more of these in, but we have 2 Get Freaky zones still on the site. And sorry, saw it right next to it, almost forgot it, the Robbie C Owl zones. We got Jawbreaker, ESP, and Z. If you're a Robbie C fan, check these out. Rumor has it he's been liking it a little bit more than the pig. Oop, rumor out of the bag. Check him out.
Alrighty, over here now at the DGA section, also manufactured by Discraft, but quite a different selection of molds. I think some interesting, like, in-between niche molds that they throw in their lineup, but also just some really solid ones. First thing I'll mention is we still have some Tour Series Avalanches right now. They did their Tour Series in like a Z Sparkle Swirl, which is one of my favorite plastic blends that Discraft can produce. I think they're super unique. These are flat, overstable, 10 speeds. I would compare them mostly to, they're honestly similar to the Phoenix I was telling you about before, but a little less overstable and a little bit slower. They're not quite as intense. Some other great molds they have right now, one that I currently bag. We also have some of the Tour Series, this is Sullivan Tipton's Hurricane. It's got like a pickleball stamp on there, kind of funny. The Hurricane is really good. I think it's super underrated. I really like these because it doesn't take me very long to get them beat into just a hyzer flip up to flat, and they just go really straight for a long ways. They go very far, and they're a little more controllable than a lot of your faster, overstable distance drivers. So I really enjoy the Hurricane. I think you should check that one out. couple more of my favorites that we also have. We have some Riffs, or some Quakes rather, right now. This is Parker Welk's signature disc. The Quake is just a nice overstable mid-range, beadless, very comfy in the hand. That's one of the things that drew me to it, but just super reliable and goes pretty far as well for its overstability. And then lastly here, this disc I think is very underrated. We have Tour Series and we have the Katrina Allen like kind of stock ones. These are the Riffs. I mean, these swirls though, holy cow, these things are sick. You should definitely take a look. We have a lot of this Tour Series stuff, and just kind of pan through there because you can find some real gems in the swirl department. But the Rift, this thing is an incredible mid-range. It hyzer flips pretty much right away. They give it a 5.4, -1, 1.5. For my arm speed, which isn't like stupendous, I can get it to flip up pretty much right out of the box, and it goes so far. Brand new. Like, this thing just glides forever and it just bombs. It's a lot of fun to throw. I remember the first time I tried it out, I just tried to throw it on like every shot possible because it was so much fun to watch fly. I would highly recommend checking out the Rift if you're looking for a new mid-range, because it does a lot of things. It can hold a lot of lines and it just bombs. It's just effortless distance with that disc. We also have putters in stock right now. We got a few different. We got the Steadies that I've putted with before. We've got these in like the stone plastic, which is real nice, real stiff plastic. And we also have the Steady BLs in the premium plastic, the Tour Series. These are great throwers as well. A lot of people like them. They fly very straight. If you were recently watching Cole Dolan, I think he was throwing a lot of Steadies at that basket over his house. So if you like that line, there you go. One other disc I've been hearing a little bit more buzz about lately is this is the Sonar. This is a new prototype putter. We only have a few of these left, but I'm just going to say I've been hearing a little more buzz about it. And that's all I'm going to say about it for now. You'll know when you know.
Welcome over to Trilogyville. Population, Isaac Robinson and Kristen Lott. Keep saying Kristen Tatar, and people keep coming after me, rightfully so. Her name changed. It's Kristen Lott. My bad. Hand up. But Isaac Robinson just signed with Latitude 64. That's exciting. And I don't know what he's throwing yet, but I do know what we have in stock, and I can tell you about that, and then maybe they'll line up. First off, we have the Claymore. The Claymore is an awesome mid-range. I actually used to throw this back in the day. My brother fell in love with it first, and then once I watched him throw it and beat me with it, not physically on the course, I then was like, well, now I have to throw one. And so we actually both fell in love with it a long time ago. I've went away from it recently, and by recently I mean I don't know if I've ever thrown it on foundation. I think I was done well before that, but that doesn't mean it's not a great disc. It's just dead straight. It's one of those discs that's just, it will kind of show you how you released it. Like if you throw it on hyzer out of the box, it might flip up a little bit, but it's gonna kind of tell you threw it on hyzer, and then over time it quickly gets to like a hyzer flip machine. I loved it for wooded courses. It was just a dead straight flyer, really comfortable in the hand. It's kind of the big brother to the Fuse I have in my bag. The Claymore and the Fuse are a great 1-2 punch. The Fuse is just instantly really flippy. The Claymore, like I said, depending on how far you throw, it's either gonna be dead straight or have a little bit of turn to it. So for me on my hyzer release, it was always a flip up dead straight and then would slowly get to flip up and cruise to the right. I absolutely love it. Why it's not in my bag right now is my pink MD3 kind of flies like what the Claymore would have done for me, but we have a bunch of them. We have them in this opto plastic, and then we also have the like Trilogy Challenge ones from this year that have these gorgeous, I don't think this is Fusion, I think it's what Dynamic calls it, gold burst. Actually this says gold ice burst, so it's gonna be a little stiffer. A lot of times the ice has a little bit more overstability in it too. The next disc I want to talk to you about is one that was in my bag for a little bit there, which was the EMAC Judge. Awesome throwing putter. Very underrated throwing putter. It's basically a Judge with a micro bead. So the Judge has a little bit of a bigger bead. Really nice stability to this. I could lean into it and go dead straight. They also have it in the Supreme plastic, which is the Supreme baseline plastic, some of the best feeling baseline plastic out there. And we got a bunch of that Supreme baseline plastic. So I personally threw it in the Lucid, but also the Supreme baseline would be a great option for you as well. And then I wanted to talk about down here, we have the Pine from Westside Disc, which is an overstable mid-range. So this is the Matty O VIP X Orbit Pine 5402. So really comfortable. I've never thrown it. It's a little bit deeper than your typical mid-range, so I find that pretty comfortable. It feels like one you could really lean into and not worry about. It has like a little tree making a skull there, which is a good time. It feels even like it'd be comfortable forehand. It's beadless. Honestly, it almost feels Quake-esque, but it's not supposed to be as overstable as a Quake, so take that for what it's worth. Bunch of different colors in that as well. Line. Okay. And then the last one I want to talk about is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, River. Here we go. We have these moonshine, Opto moonshine rivers. That'd be a good time. I didn't know we had these. A bunch of different colors of them too. So the Opto moonshine should give you a little bit more stability, which should make this, which is already a hyzer flip machine, into even more of a hyzer flip machine, because you should be able to really lean into this and get a good pop-up out of it. The River was like the first disc to come out and say 7 glide, which just made everyone lose their minds. And in their defense, it probably has 7 glide. Like, it just wants to stay in the air for a long time. If you rip it on hyzer, it'll pop up. This was actually on my list of discs I thought was going to change my game, and that was because I watched it change other people's games, and it never quite changed mine, but I think I just put too much pressure on the disc and not enough on me, the thrower, because a disc can't actually change your game. But if one could, it might be the River. Check it out.
Hey, now we're over here at Discmania Junction.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, wasn't supposed to talk.
Yeah, you're not here. We got a few molds in stock I want to tell you about right now. First one being the DD. Just the DD, not the DD3, not the DD1, nothing like that. The DD is like a hyzer flip disc. It's also an 11 speed, so most of you are probably familiar in the distance driver lineup with the DD3 from Discmania. That is faster, much more overstable than this. So if you're looking for something that has a similar hand feel, but is easier to throw, the DD is a great option for that, because it's just a little bit slower, still an 11 speed, and it flips up a lot easier. Goes really far for an 11 speed as well. So that's a great driver. Other discs I want to tell you about is a great mid-range pair here. We've got the MD1 and the MD3. So you've probably seen the MD3 quite a bit. Hunter throws this one a lot. One of the better mid-ranges out there. It's just very, very agreeable. They start out pretty straight with a little bit of fade, and then they just like, not even over a ton of time, but they pretty quickly get to a point where they just go dead straight and maybe have a little bit of flip, and then they kind of just stay there. And that's just kind of what it's what you get a lot of times out of this Trilogy made plastic. And yeah, these are great. Plastic blend feels great. They're very, very comfortable in the hand. But the MD1 is a nice complement, because the MD1 is just a little bit flippier, just a touch flippier. So if you're looking for the flight that maybe you could get out of Hunter's MD3 that he throws now, an MD1 is going to do that almost immediately. It reminds me a lot of the Makos and the Mako 3, more specifically, I guess, that Innova makes, where it's got that little bit of a rounder feel in the hand, very comfy, and it's a 0-0, and it is kind of truly like that. It just doesn't want to fade a lot. It just kind of pops up the flat and just goes straight and kind of drops and has a ton of glides. The MD1 is great. This is the same mold as like the Mind Benders, if you remember those that were coming out there a while ago. That's the MD1 for you. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about the P1X. Got these in stock right now. The P1X is just the beaded version of the P1. Little pro tip for you: when they add an X on the end of the Discmania molds, it typically means there's a bead. In fact, I don't know there's an example otherwise. The P1 is basically similar to the MD3, MD1 situation. The P1 is just a little bit straighter than the P2 and P3. And then the X, you're just basically getting a little bead on there. It's a little more comfortable for you beaded putter throwers, adds a little bit more stability. So the P1X is just a very, very straight putter, very agreeable in the hand. I would compare this, honestly, it is similar to kind of an EMAC Judge in the profile of it. Since they add the bead, this is normally a very deep putter, the P1. Whenever they add the bead to it, I think it actually gives it more of a shallow look to it, just because the parting line comes down quicker and then it goes down. So yeah, P1X, super great. All the Discmania stuff is so good. I think it's one of the, like, they have a lot of very accurate discs in their lineup. You know, another one we have here is the FD. We've got a bunch of these in stock, but they have a lot of just point and shoot molds, and you can't really go wrong. So make sure to check out Discmania if you haven't.
All right, we're over in Thought Spaceville. A lot of thought for space. A lot of space for thought over here.
Nice.
Went backwards. The Crux is what I want to talk to you about first. We got these James Proctor Nebula Aura, and then we have your just classic Aura. Both of them are just
looky.
nice, overstable. What makes Thought Space so gorgeous is just the stamps. I mean, look at these things. It's on Trilogy, nope. It's on MVP plastic, the Trilogy of the Future, and it just feels great from that. And then the triple foil stamps that ThoughtSpace always does just makes these things look incredible. So if you're looking for an overstable mid, check out the Crux. If you're looking for like a Thunderbird type disc, check out the Construct. This is in their Ethos plastic. I think we also have some in their Aura plastic. Really, really awesome disc. I've thrown one of these on and off in my bag back in the day. Really like the hand feel though. Super comfortable. Really nice, consistent flight. And the last one, this actually isn't MVP made. Their baseline stuff is, we don't really know who makes it. I think it's just kind of like third party made. But this is their Nerve plastic, and this is the Temple. So the Temple's like an overstable approach disc, and it comes in their baseline plastic, so it'll start nice and overstable and then beat up to be dead straight. Really low profile, really comfortable backhand and forehand. So if you're looking for that like jawbreaker zone type of a disc, check out the Temple.
All right. Last thing, gonna shout out the accessories shelves. Just remind you that they're here. First of all, minis. You wanna know my favorite? Okay, I just saw one that is blowing my mind. My favorite thing about our minis is how the people at the warehouse, warehouse? That sounded like a Boston accent.
Warehouse.
Yeah, what in the world the warehouse named these things? And I just saw one that made my jaw drop.
I think it's the one I just saw.
Latex tourniquet.
Yeah.
Are they wrong? Not necessarily, but that's just out of pocket. We've also got, I really like the Salmon Nigiri is a good time. Orchid Luster.
Where's that one? Oh, there she is.
Over there.
I like Bogey Blue.
Bogey Blue is that's very good. Yeah, they just are always doing fun stuff with the colors. You got Mustard Yellow, of course. We got great minis.
That's more like Chick-fil-A sauce.
Ooh,
probably IP.
Yeah,
probably
IP situation. Our minis are great. Okay, we have a ton of different options, and we also have some that have like podcast logos. We got some Robbie C ones down there as well. They're the perfect size. They're nice. They're durable. You can throw them really well. They go super. I'm just kidding. They go super far. Yeah. So check out our minis. They're also very affordable. They're a great time. Mark your discs, guys. It's the year 2025. Let's stop flipping our disc and let's put down minis.
Nah, I like the Texas flip. Sorry. It would be we have the Texas flip, the Virginia scoot, and now we have the Pennsylvania mark.
I thought we were calling it the Lynchburg scoot.
Or the Lynchburg, that's fine.
I think we kind of owned that one. Okay, next thing I'm gonna tell you about is Ripped. Ooh, we're running low on these. So we have a few Ripped Evolution packs, Ripped Showdown, Ripped Revenge. Let me let you know this little secret though. You can get, don't be confused. All these are going to give you the same amount of fun, but there's just a little bit differences to them. So Ripped Revenge is the original card game. Okay, the way it works is you get a hand of cards, you play them against each other. It might say something like, throw the next shot with your eyes closed, right? It's basically to make twists in the game. Ripped Showdown was the next iteration of the game. Okay, this one has a couple different rules, some different cards. It's a very good time. Then you have Ripped Evolution. Okay, this is expansion packs that we teamed up with this company to make basically some of our own cards. So some of these cards are related to challenges we did in videos. For example, we did a video once where we had to throw all different kinds of disc golf shots a long time ago, such as like a pterodactyl throw. What does that even mean? You'll have to find it on the internet. But that is a card in here. We've done a bunch of goofy things that have basically become cards. And the idea is there's different cards in these packs, so you can build out your own Ripped deck and make it super strong and just dominate everybody. Last things we have on the shelf here, as always, we've got our patches. Absolutely love our patches. We've got all kinds of different brands, logos, everything. You can slap these on your bag. Make your bag a little more personable, you know, not just bland and generic. If you got a cool bag like mine, you got Velcro and you can just slap them right on there. It's perfect. We also have our grip sacks. I don't know if you have hands sweaty enough to need grip sacks this time of year, God bless you, but it won't be long before it's warm again and you will need these. So
yeah, or you could just like live in Florida.
That is true.
Or Arizona.
I'm discriminating against those of the desert and of the tropics. So I'm sorry.
Not Texas. They're about to get 12 inches of snow.
I think they're already getting it.
It's Brody's worst nightmare.
So yeah, there you go. There's the accessories. We got all kinds of fun accessories. Some more exciting accessory things coming on the horizon though. Ooh yeah. So make sure to check that out, and we'll see you next week.